Are you logged in?
I'm trying to. Is anybody under here?
Well, the judge and his bailiff were setting it up, but then they just walked away.
Yes.
I was trying to do it earlier to see if I could just call you directly from Zoom, but mine wasn't allowing me to call from mine. Like, it wouldn't let me great. You know what? I wonder if we can even check it. And you hit one with video, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, can you hear me?
Hold on, let me put the phone down. Oh,
Can you hear me?
yeah.
Yes, Ms. Rodriguez, we can hear you.
Oh, yay. Thanks.
I'm going to turn everybody's microphone off until a little bit before 10:30.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a lot more straightforward.
Sure, sure, sure.
Thank you.
Oh,
I switched them out yesterday. Normally it's that.
oh, that's nice too.
Yeah.
Clean.
Yeah.
I see a little silver in here. Uh-oh.
We are alive and broadcasting.
Oh, my other?
Well, if they can pick up your mic, yes.
Now how do I get back?
I don't, my mic doesn't work.
Well, but you can on mine.
Is my picture showing?
No.
How do I get back there?
Wow, look at all James Graham's books. I'm assuming those are books.
Yes, but it's a background. It's not real.
Real?
It's fake.
And you know, we have one 11-year-old at the very end.
Correct.
Okay.
Waiting for Juvenile to come online. And waiting for Rita to get in.
Carmen, too.
Pardon?
Carmen Johnson, too.
Yeah.
Morning, Judge.
Good morning, Mr. Sierra. I'm going to put you on mute.
Okay.
Here's Miss Johnson.
We don't have detention yet, huh?
Correct. What's the thermostat set?
71.
Oh, no.
You want 5?
68. Who touched the thermostat? Here's Juvenile. Do you mind going and calling Rita? Rita.
You got it already? Uh-huh. Yes.
All right.
Uh-oh. Mine says no internet.
can't get on. Oh, I thought it kicked me off.
I don't know. All right, David, can you see me?
Yes.
All right, would you trade places with Mr. Herrera? We're going to do Mr. Herrera first because your attorney hasn't logged in yet, okay?
Are you trying to- So you're gonna start with Herrera.
All right. I'll remind everyone that we are broadcasting live on YouTube, except for the very last hearing, which involves someone under the age of 14, and I will stop the YouTube broadcast for that period of time. I will also note that any recording of these hearings is expressly forbidden. Any violation of the court's order forbidding recording can subject the person to either criminal and/or civil contempt, meaning a fine or incarceration in the Tarrant County Jail. Today, we're here for detention hearings for 11 youth. First one will be Martin Nicholas Herrera Jr. Are you Mr. Herrera?
Yes, sir.
Okay, my name is Judge Porter. You have the right to remain silent and not say anything at all. If there's something you want to say, rather than just blurt it out, what I want you to do is wave your hand like this. That will get my attention. I will create a private breakout room for just you and your attorney where y'all can talk online where nobody else can hear you. Okay? Do you see Ms. Johnson?
Yes, sir.
All right, Ms. Johnson is your attorney. You have the right to have this hearing in front of Judge Kim. You also have the right to have this hearing recorded. If you want either of those things, Ms. Johnson will let me know. All right, Ms. Turner-Hill, what brings Mr. Herrera to court today?
Martin was referred in custody for a DMCA violation on April the 2nd. On March the 9th, he was released on EM at his adjudication disposition hearing. And then on March the 30th, detention intake contacted his father about 1:10 in the morning. The father reported that he was not at home, so a DTA was issued. He was arrested at his mother's house. Martin, this is his second time cutting off the electronic monitor. He is pending for the offenses of assault on a public servant and family violence assault, and also a criminal mischief charge, and he's set for court in May.
All right. He's currently level 1-0 in the back.
Yes, sir.
How long has he been level 1-0?
Since April the 6th.
Okay. What was his last drug test? What did it show?
He was positive for marijuana whenever he came in on the DTA.
Okay. Has he had a drug test since then?
No, sir.
Not since he's been in detention. He's been in detention since he was arrested on the DTA.
Okay. Does he have a parent or guardian here today?
Yes, his mom
Yes,
is here,
ma'am,
and
sir.
also his MHMR case manager.
Mom, you can stop waving your hand. I can see you.
I want to say something though. Can
Well, you need to wait your turn until I call on you, okay? Ms. Turner-Hill, you were saying?
His MHMR worker is also here, Miss
Okay.
Stafford.
Okay. There she is. Just a second, Miss Stafford. All right. Ms. Stafford, have you had a chance to visit with Mr. Herrera since he's been in detention?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. What, is there anything you believe the court needs to be aware of today?
He is enrolled in Yes Waiver. He's going on his second year. He does engage with services when he's out, but his behavior remains the same.
Okay. All right, Mom, what's going on?
So with him having a court date next Friday, me and the probation officer feel it's best interest to keep him to his court date because we don't want to have the risk of him being out in the streets again and missing the court date.
And you believe that if I were to release him, he's likely to run away from the court's jurisdiction?
I mean,
Miss his court date?
There's a possibility, a chance. I mean, he's so anxious to get out. That's all he talks about when he calls me is wanting to get out, already wanted to come over to my apartment because that's where the Wi-Fi is at. And I mean, it's just, we just feel like it's just best because somebody has to deal with this that I have to deal with whenever he does take off in the streets for days and nights. We rather him be released after the court hearing so that we'll know for sure what his because I believe he's going to be placed on probation. We just feel more safer and comfortable him being on probation, being released.
All right, Ms. Johnson, what do you have to say on behalf of
Well,
Mr. Herrera?
obviously, what happens after the court date is clearly up to the court, and nobody can determine what's going to happen necessarily today. My client has been on level 1 outstanding for, I don't know, 14 or 15 days in a row. When the DTA was issued, he had left his father's house, who was a responsible parent for him, and went to his mother's house, who is also a responsible parent for him. I understand that he lives mostly with his dad at his mother's request. So he's done what he needed to do in order to leave from detention. He did not commit any new law violations.
Okay, but you don't have to deal with the stress that we have to deal with when he goes out.
Mom, it's not your turn, okay? You need to wait until you're called upon. Yes, Ms. Johnson.
We would ask for his release.
All right. Mr. Herrera?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you are at level 1-0, and that is a strong point in your favor. However, based on your past conduct of cutting off the monitor, going crazy when you're at home with your dad, I believe that if you are released today, you would likely leave the jurisdiction of the court and not show up for your court date on Friday. So I'm going to order you be detained. I'll see you on Friday. That'll be the order of the court.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I be excused?
Yes, thank you, Ms. Johnson. I appreciate it. All right. Did you have a chance to call Rita?
Who is next?
We're going to go ahead and do Braden Hood.
I'll call Rita, Your Honor.
What? Yes. Ms. McGilvery, you may want to turn on your audio. Okay. Just a second here. All right, Mr. Hood, do you see me?
Yes, sir.
All right, my name is Judge Porter. This is a detention hearing to determine whether or not you should remain in detention or be released. My name is Judge Porter. You have the right to have this hearing recorded. You also have the right to have this hearing in front of Judge Kim. If you want either of those things, your attorney will let me know. Do you see your attorney? Mr. Hood, do you see your attorney?
No.
Lateef, can you wave your hand so he can see you?
I can see you.
I see you now.
All right. You have the right to remain silent, Mr. Hood, and not say anything at all. If there's something you want to say, don't just blurt it out. Instead, what I want you to do is wave your hand like this. That will let me know that you want to say something. I will create a private breakout room on the computer for you, just you and your attorney to
Yes,
talk. That way he knows what you want to say and he can advise you on whether or not you really should say it. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
All right. Ms. Gonzalez, what brings Mr. Hood to court today?
Good morning, Your Honor. Braden Hood was referred on Monday, April the 13th at approximately 1:40 a.m. To Manfield. Officers were dispatched to the Evolve apartment complex in reference to several people pulling on vehicle doors. Upon arrival, officers observed a Chevy 4-door make a quick right turn into a parking area at the apartments. Officers observed the driver of the vehicle honk his horn, and one male wearing a hoodie and a ballistic vest walked toward the vehicle and opened the back right passenger door. The report stated that at this time, the officers activated their red and blue emergency lights and got out of the vehicle and advised the occupants to stay where they were. It's noted that several occupants got out of the vehicle and ran north in the apartment complex. Officers commanded the male wearing a bulletproof vest to get on the ground. Officers were able to detain the male, who was later identified as Mr. Braden Hood. Mr. Hood was relocated to the Mansfield Police Department. His mother was contacted. However, while waiting for his mother, officers spoke to the victim of the theft of the vehicle, who advised the vehicle was taken while she was in the gas station down the road from her house. The victim advised that she had a firearm and a ballistic vest in her vehicle at the time of the theft. She described the vest to officers. Officers reported that it was the same vest that she described, and noted that under the arrest, he was placed under arrest for theft, but less than or equal to $700 for the ballistic vest, as each panel was valued at $250. He was then transported over to our detention center. The report also noted that a suspect was taken into custody and advised that the guy, meaning Braden Hood, was the one who was driving the vehicle and had the gun. He is currently on probation with our department, Your Honor. And he's on 2 terms of probation, harassment by a person in a correctional detention facility, and authorized use of a vehicle. He did test positive for marijuana, amphetamines, and methamphetamines. When he was referred to us, I believe on the 13th, he had refused a drug test. However, he did have one done on the 14th, the following day.
Okay. Ms. McGilvery, are you Mr. Hood's parent or guardian?
Yes.
Okay. Tell me what's going on.
Well, the night this happened, I'm on.
Can you speak up a little louder, Ms. McGilvery? I can barely hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am. That's better.
Hello.
Do you want Braden to come home today?
Okay. Yes. When this happened. Yes.
You do want him to come home today?
Oh, well, I mean, I don't, if he's going to do right, if he's going to do what he's supposed to do, I would like him home. But I don't,
Well,
I can't trust that he's
ma'am,
gonna
I need
do
a
that.
yes or no answer. I don't need a conditional answer. Do you want him home or not?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
What are your concerns, though, if he comes home?
That he's going to do something like he did a few days ago.
Okay. Hold on. Counsel, what's your request on behalf of the respondent?
Our request is to release him with electronic monitoring so the court and the mom will be able to supervise him, make sure he's out of trouble. We had a detention hearing judge on Tuesday, and since Tuesday, he's been on level 1 outstanding up till now. And that's why I'm requesting, and his offense is just theft, which is a misdemeanor.
Okay, and counsel, what is he on probation for currently?
Unauthorized use and harassment by person in correction facility. So those are the 2 things he's on probation. I think it was modified February the 4th. Unless there's something in the record that I'm not aware of. So it's until this incident, he's pretty much been in compliance.
So wait, he had a modification back in February 4th.
Yes, Judge.
And he's picked up a new offense 2.5 months later?
Last week.
So 2 months later.
That is correct. But before then, he's been in compliance.
And he comes in and he tests positive for methamphetamines, amphetamines, and marijuana, and that's in compliance?
Until
you understand
then,
where I'm going with this?
No. What I'm saying, Judge, is that until this incident, which will include the use of what is tested for, and I believe when we came on Tuesday, those are the reasons why the judge decided to keep him. But I'm saying it's demonstrated since he's been in detention that, yes, I can do this. I can deal with the cost restrictions. I mean, it got onto level 1 outstanding, I believe, the following day, since Wednesday. And up till now.
Ms. Bell, what says the state?
The state would ask that he be detained. It appears that if he's released, he would be likely to reoffend.
I mean, Judge, with electronic monitoring, if that happens, then he'll be back here.
Counsel, my hesitancy here is we were all on social lockdown at the beginning of the month anyway.
That is correct. Judge, the mom will have to answer that question.
I'll let you ask her.
Mom?
Yes.
Can you respond to the judge's concern about we are on sheltering policy, is not supposed to be on the street. Why was he on the street? That's what the judge is concerned about.
Well, I'm under quarantine myself, so it's 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm asleep, and I wake up to a call that he's not in the house and that he's in Mansfield.
So with that situation, I'm sure the judge is thinking, how am I sure that if I let him come home now, you'll be able to control his movement?
The only thing that I for sure that would control his movement is the EM.
Okay. So you are telling the judge, if he's put on EM, if he goes outside the EM condition, then he will be back in detention, correct?
That if he was, I couldn't understand you.
That if he violates the electronic monitoring device conditions, he will be back in detention.
Yes.
And that's what I was also impressing on the judge.
Well, Judge, the state's position would be that the respondent has already received conditions from the court and from the judge on multiple prior occasions as shown in his detention offense report, but continually violates the conditions put on him by the court. And for that reason, the state would still ask that he be detained so that he doesn't commit any new violations.
I'm not aware that, Judge, I'm not aware that he was on any electronic monitoring conditions before this incident.
Okay, everybody's points are all well taken. Mr. Hood, basically you were on probation for 2 months before you picked up a new offense. And yes, it's a misdemeanor, but you tested positive for amphetamines, methamphetamines, and marijuana while you're on probation. And that tells to me you're not taking things very seriously. And this was a modified probation in February, which means you'd been previously placed on probation and you did something to cause the modification. So that suggests to me you're just going to do whatever you want to do, whenever you want to do it. You're not going to listen to mom. No, sir. No, sir. Mr. Hood, I've made my decision. I need you to maintain level 1.0 for 2 solid weeks, and you've got to come back with a clear drug test. That way we have a baseline for you, and then I'll feel better about letting you go, but not right now, not today. I think that if I were to release you today, you'd be a danger to yourself or the public if released. So you're going to be, that's going to be the order of the court. Thank you all.
Judge, the condition about coming in 2 weeks, I doubt if the marijuana will have worn out in 2 weeks.
It'll be, let's see. We'll find out. We'll find out in 2 weeks. Maybe it will be.
Your
Depends
Honor.
on how much you used.
Your Honor. This is Cynthia. I'm sorry. I just wanted to bring to your attention that he's also pending a show cause hearing.
We already took care of that.
Oh, perfect. Thank you.
All right. Thank you all.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. Rita is now here, so let's go ahead and get Mr. Cervantes. Give me just a second. All right.
Can you hear me, Your Honor?
Yes, ma'am, I can.
Thank you, Judge.
How are you doing this morning?
I'm good, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, and Mr. Victorson.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Cervantes, my name is Judge Porter. You have the right to have this hearing in front of Judge Kim. You also have the right to have this hearing recorded. If you want either of those things, your attorney will let me know. You also have the right to remain silent. If there's anything you want to say during this hearing, I suggest that you do not blurt it out. Instead, I want you to wave your hand like this. That will let me know that you want to say something, and I will create a private breakout room just for you and your attorney to talk with. Nobody else will be in there, just the two of you. Y'all can talk about what you want to say before you blurt anything out. That way she can advise you on whether or not you should actually say it. Does that make sense, Mr. Cervantes? Oh, Mr. Cervantes, I need you to pull your chair closer to the computer. All right, does all that make sense? I can't hear you, Mr. Cervantes. You need to speak up.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. All right, Mr. Victorson, what brings Mr. Cervantes to court today?
Your Honor, today is a 10-day hearing. He was actually adjudicated delinquent on March the 20th. And at that time, the district attorney's office asked for him to remain in detention pending transfer to Dallas County for disposition. And we had a subsequent 10-day hearing, and he was detained, obviously, because we're here again. He had, in that time frame where we were waiting to get him transferred, we got some out of custody referrals that the district attorney's office has now disposed as supervisory caution late last week. So at this point, we're in the process of reaching out to get transportation arranged to get him to Dallas County, where his case will be disposed. I'm sorry, Your Honor.
All right.
He's in Dallas.
Okay, counsel.
Yes, Your Honor. Also, in addition to that, is the fact that the last detention hearing, actually before that detention hearing, Dallas has made it known that they will not detain him, that it will be actually a waste of time kind of thing for them to come get him and just call mom to come pick him up. So Dallas do not have the intention to keep him detained until his disposition. when we were before Judge Kim the last time, Judge Kim said, if you can get yourself to level 1, we can have a conversation. That is the quotation. I mean, that's how he said it. So, and we are here today, Your Honor.
Does he have a parent or guardian here to whom I can release, David?
Mom texted me. I thought she was on Zoom because she sent me a text message to say that.
Yes, she is. Just a second. Okay. There's Mom. Okay. So you texted Mom and what?
Mom texted me to say that you are waiting for me. So I thought that she's on already.
Okay.
But I can tell you this, Your Honor, that Mom is willing and ready to come pick him up, and the probation officer can testify to that also. So if he gets released, we can get Mom in a couple of hours to come get him.
Okay.
Okay,
is that your understanding, Mr. Victorson?
Yes, Your Honor. That's what her stance has been in the past anyway.
Yes, Mom, Your Honor, she's on, right? He was on now.
Yes, yes. Mr. Victorson, would you prefer that Mom transport David to Dallas County for the disposition hearing?
That's probably what's going to happen anyway, Your Honor, so yes.
Mom, are you ready for David to come home?
Yes, Your Honor, I am.
And can you assure me that you can get him to the court hearing in Dallas whenever it's scheduled?
Yes, I can assure you that I will get him to the hearing.
Okay, because there are 2 bad things that can happen if you do not get him to the hearing. The first bad thing is I issue an arrest warrant for him. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
The second bad thing concerns you because I would be releasing him to you. I could also issue a warrant for your arrest that you be taken to the Tarrant County Jail for failing to get him to his court hearing. You understand that?
I understand that.
So knowing all that and knowing David's quite lengthy history of referrals with the department, are you still willing to take a chance on him that it won't cause you to end up in the Tarrant County Jail?
Yes, I'm willing to take a chance on him.
All right. Ms. Bell, what says the state?
The state would just defer to the court on this case.
All right. Mr. Cervantes, today is your lucky day. I'm going to order that you be released to your mom. You will be released on the electronic monitor, okay, up until you are physically over in Dallas County, and then I'll allow Mr. Victorson to approach me on whether or not the electronic monitor should be left on or be taken off, okay?
Yes, sir.
You will also be under curfew.
Yes, sir.
Your curfew starts at 7:30 p.m. and you have to be indoors at 7:30 p.m. That means you can't be outside on the balcony of an apartment. You have to be physically indoors wherever you live at 7:30 p.m.
Sure.
And you cannot go back out until 7:30 a.m. And that is only if a parent or guardian is accompanying you and physically within sight of you. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Mom, do you understand those conditions?
Yes, I do.
Are you willing to enforce that curfew?
Yes, I'm willing to enforce that curfew.
Okay. Mr. Victorson, are there any other conditions you think that I should consider?
No, Your Honor, not at this time.
All right, that'll be the order of court. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Going home.
Enroll.
All right.
Hey.
So there's Mr. Lewis. Mr. Graham. Mr. Graham. There's Mr. Graham. All right, Mr. Ingram.
Yes.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Ingram, can you pull your chair closer to the computer? All right. Mr. Ingram, my name is Judge Porter. This is a detention hearing to determine whether you should be released or be ordered to remain in the custody of Juvenile Detention Center. You have the right to have this hearing in front of Judge Kim. You also have the right to have this hearing recorded. If you want either of those things, Mr. Graham, your attorney, will let me know, okay? You have the right to remain silent and not say anything at all. If there's something you want to say, rather than just blurt it out, what I want you to do is wave your hand like this. I'll create a special online chat room for you and your attorney. Y'all will be the only two in there. That way you can tell him what you want to say and he can talk to you about whether or not you really should say it. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Lewis, what brings Mr. Graham to court today?
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Your Honor, Joshua was brought back from Mejia State Supported Living Center on Friday due to having completed his fitness commitment there. Mejia found him fit to proceed with the charges that are petitioned against him, which are 2 counts of assault public servant with regards to an incident which occurred back in December of 2019. And his hearing has been reset on the docket for this coming Friday at 8:30 a.m.
Okay. And does he have a parent or guardian here today?
I'm not clear on that. He is in the custody of CPS, and I spoke with his OCOK worker last Friday and advised her of the hearing and asked her to be present. I'm not sure if she's here remotely or not, but she was made aware of his detention and of the hearing.
All right, Mr. Graham.
Your Honor, yeah, without the CPS representative or foster parent, I don't know that we have a place for him to go. I knew he was coming back from Mejia. I did not know he'd actually gotten here yet till this morning. So I haven't had a chance to follow up either with Joshua or CPS. But yeah, right now our biggest issue was I don't know where we would release him even if the court was willing to do so.
Okay. Mr. Ingram.
Yes.
You're level 1-0 in the back, so thank you for doing that. It's good to see you back. You seem like you're in pretty good shape. You feeling okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Because I don't have a parent or guardian here today, I'm going to order that you be detained, but you'll see me again on Friday. Is that okay?
Mr. Porter, do you know if I can go back to my adopted parents?
I don't know that at this time. I do know that your attorney, Mr. Graham, as well as the state, they're all looking at all the different options for you. And so that's probably something that we'll discuss on Friday.
Yeah,
Does that sound good?
Yes, sir. But do you know if like my parents can join this? Because they wanted to come, but they told them no.
Mr. Graham will be the one to answer that question for you. Okay? And I bet Mr. Graham will try and call you sometime later this week to discuss all of those things. Is that good?
Yes, sir.
All right. Anything else from any of the parties?
No, sir.
Nothing from the defense, Your Honor.
All right. Thanks, y'all.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I've seen the last time I saw him, so I'm glad to see that. No, I'm giving it to you. Oh, the other stuff? Yeah, I've been throwing it on the floor. Do you want all the reports and everything? Okay, I'll give them back to you. Oh, that's right. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. All right, are you Ms. Lopez?
Yes.
Okay, my name is Judge Porter. This is a detention hearing to determine whether you should be released or be ordered to remain in the Juvenile Detention Center. You have the right to have this hearing in front of Judge Kim. You also have the right to have this hearing recorded. If you want either of those things, Mr. Beaver, your attorney, will let me know. I need to advise you that you have the right to remain silent and not say anything at all unless that's what you want to do. If there's something you want to say, don't just blurt it out. Instead, what I want you to do is wave your hand like this to get my attention. I will create a special online chat room for you and your attorney. That way y'all can talk about what you want to say and he can advise you whether or not you really should say it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Paxton, what brings Ms. Lopez to court today?
Your Honor, this incident happened late Friday night. Mom reported to police that she smelled, or actually one of the siblings said there was a funny smell coming from her bedroom. Mom went to investigate because Caitlin has a history of vaping. She confronted her, tried to search her and her room. Caitlin scratched and pushed her mom, causing pain. She eventually pushed her hard enough that she fell over the bed, hit her foot on the nightstand. Mom attempted to get up only to be pushed down again by Caitlin and hurt her back on the wooden bed frame. She's pending 2 cases. One that occurred March 6th. That was an assault, bodily injury, family violence against mom as well, where mom was trying to take her cell phone away for punishment, and Caitlin pushed her and slapped and bit her. There was also an incident on March 9th where Caitlin was found at Walmart. She was crying, didn't have shoes on, and told police that her parents were out of town and she had nowhere to go, but she was confirmed as a runaway out of Keller. So she's been released from detention since March 25th. And then came back.
Mom, what's going on?
Basically what Ms. Paxton just stated has happened. Caitlin's attorney talked to her dad and it was confirmed that there were 2 vials of tequila found in Caitlin's room yesterday. That was reported. Caitlin has not been doing all of her assignments in school as she is supposed to while at home. That has been confirmed by 2 or 3 of her teachers within the last couple of days. We haven't heard from all of her teachers. Her dad was given the option to take Caitlin Friday night. He declined. So we are back here again.
All right. Would you prefer that she get to remain in a very structured environment for the next 2 weeks so that she can work on school and work on her behavior and work on staying away from vaping tools?
Yes, I talked to her father a few times, and our concern is just to get Caitlin through these next few weeks so she can graduate, at least graduate, at a minimum graduate this school year.
All right. Yeah. Mr. Beaver.
Good morning, Your Honor. So I did have the opportunity to speak with both Caitlin's mother and father this morning. And Mr. Lopez said that it seemed as if Caitlin had been doing well and up until this incident. Now, he was concerned also about the schoolwork, lack of completing that. And also, I believe both parents have stated that they're trying to find some new medical support for Caitlin, and that's really difficult right now with the COVID-19 pandemic. I believe that Caitlin has been trying, and just unfortunately there was the incident that happened Friday evening, but I would ask the court to take that into consideration and defer to the parents' request at the court.
All right. Ms. Lopez, is there something you want to talk to your attorney about?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Give me just a little bit. Just the exhibit A. You want just the exhibit A, or you want the whole thing? There you go. We've increased our bandwidth, so it's working today.
Yeah, pretty good. I don't know what happened to mine.
All right, Ms. Lopez. Based on the information before me, I believe that if I were to release you today, you would be a danger to yourself or others. Okay, I want you to get to level 1O in the back. You know what that means, and that will give me a reason to reconsider this. Okay.
Does the fact that me and my mom talked about counseling, like once I get out of here, like I just want to go home and be with my mom.
I understand that, but
I'll do what I need to do. I'll follow the rules. I'll do my schoolwork.
okay, I'm going to give you a chance to prove all that to me back in detention. You've got a chance to do your schoolwork. You've got a chance to obey the rules and do all that. And once you prove to me that you can do that in detention by attaining a level 1O, then I'll have better faith that you can do it at home. But right now, that's not the case, okay? That'll be the order of the court. Thank you. Thank you, Mom.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So how long?
Okay. Yeah, that's. Can I call him Honor? Because I didn't see it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No, sir. Oh, that's not PO. Is it my mom? Should be. That's the prosecutor. Okay.
Are you Ms. Martinez?
Yes, sir.
All right, my name is Judge Porter. This is a detention hearing to determine whether you should remain back in the back or be released.
Yes, sir.
You have the right to have this hearing in front of Judge Kim. You also have the right to have this hearing recorded if you want either of those things. Your attorney, Ms. Herrick, will let me know. I need to let you know you also have the right to remain silent and not say anything at all. If there is something you want to say, rather than just blurt it out, I want you to wave your hand like this. That will get my attention. I will create a special online chat room for you and your attorney to go into. Y'all will be the only ones in there. That way you can talk with her about what you want to say, and she can advise you whether or not you should actually say it. Okay. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
All right. Ms. Turner-Hill, what brings Ms. Martinez to court today?
Ms. Martinez was referred in custody on April the 19th by the Florida Police Department for the offenses of unauthorized use of a motor vehicle and evading arrest or detention with a vehicle. According to the police report, on April the 18th at about 1:53 a.m., officers responded to a disturbance at a convenience store. When they arrived, they met with her mother, who reported that her 15-year-old daughter took the car without permission, and Natalie also appeared to be under the influence of marijuana and other drugs. Officers pursued the vehicle. The responding officer activated his emergency lights and the vehicle failed to yield. The officer observed the vehicle failed to maintain a single lane and speed approximately 20 miles per hour over the posted speed limit. The pursuit continued into a residential neighborhood where Natalie allegedly ran stop signs and red lights, sped over the posted speed limit, and neglected safety for herself and others. The pursuit lasted approximately 26 minutes. The officers did deploy Air One, and the vehicle eventually came to a stop after the police department successfully executed spike strips. Natalie was the driver of the vehicle, and another juvenile, Linda Ramirez, was a passenger. According to the report, Natalie appeared to be under the influence as she was slow and lethargic while speaking, unsteady on her feet, and she needed assistance from falling over. So she was arrested and brought in custody, and she has no prior referrals to our department.
All right. Was a drug screen done when she came in?
She didn't meet the business criteria for a drug screen, so no, sir.
Okay. Mom, what's going on? What is Natalie doing out at 2 a.m?
She got into arguing with my boyfriend, and then she just took off without my permission. I told her she needs to stay, and she just got mad and left. And we're trying to hold her back, and we couldn't. So I got really scared because I know that she was on something, and she didn't want to admit it, and she was just like moving around kind of funny. So that's why I called the cops on her, because I didn't want her to have an accident or to I mean, I just worry about her, driving like that.
It says she had somebody else with her at the time. Was this person with her when she left your house?
Yes. That person, she don't supposed to be at my house, and she
is not supposed to be at your house?
We told her that we didn't want her out there. So that's the friend that she had.
And what kind of friend is this?
Supposedly her best friend is Linda Rivera.
And so where is Natalie getting the drugs that the police suspect she was using?
They're always hanging around, what I know. I believe so. I'm not, to be honest, I don't know where she getting the stuff.
Did you smell anything on her before she left the house?
No.
Where'd she learn to drive?
Well, she's supposed to have, we're supposed to help her get her license. So I got her that car, but it was just till she gets the license. So
right, she's just now learning.
Exactly. So her dad's supposed to help me out with that. But she's just driving, but I don't think she knows how to drive right.
Do you want her to come home right now? Or do you think that she needs to spend a little bit more time back in detention?
I need her to spend more time out there because it hurts me a lot, but I know she needs that help.
All right, Ms. Herrick.
Your Honor, it is evident to me that Natalie would like to speak to me.
Oh, okay.
Can you make us?
Yes, I will do that.
Thank you.
Oh, I could talk? I could talk now?
Hold on.
Okay.
Okay. Ms. Martinez, you should be able to join the client counseling room right now. Okay. Well, it's the one that, yeah, the parents bought it for her, but it's mom's car. Well, especially with the air conditioning running, it's hard for me to hear sometimes. No, because I'm dying. guess I have to take my computer home tonight. Well, if Alex is sick and Judge Terry's doing detention tomorrow, that means I have to run the board for her at home. Unless I want to. Yeah, she is. Yeah, she's been doing a great job. Yeah, she's got this thing down. I'm still a little clunky, but she's got it. When my internet connection home works, it's awesome. But every day, almost like clockwork, it goes out at like 10:02. It'll be out for 2 minutes, and then it comes back on. And then sometime within the next hour, it will go out again for like 30 seconds, and then come back on.
Well, AT&T came out and put in new plan that upgraded us to the high speed, whatever.
Ooh.
But it will be a couple of weeks before they come out to trench it. So there's just a big one cable across.
All right, Ms. Herrick.
Yes, Your Honor. From what I can tell, Natalie is on level 1. She has no history. She's never been through the system before. She does want to go home. She said even if that means she has to have an electronic monitor, she's willing to do it. She's willing to follow whatever rules the court imposes if you allow her to go home.
Okay, let me check. Her detention level right now is she's at a 2-0.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Anything else from either side?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Martinez. It concerns me greatly that you're not obeying your mom's rules. Mom told you at 2 in the morning that you can't go out, then that should be the end of it. You don't have to like it. No, I'm done. Put your hand down. You don't have to like it, but you have to obey her rules because she's the parent and she's got to look out for what's best for you. You can roll your eyes all you want, but it's not going to do any good. Okay? I need you to prove to me that you can obey the rules. And that means you need to get to level 1-0 in the back. Okay? I want you to get to level 1-0 and maintain that for 7 consecutive days. And once she does that, then I'll authorize her release, okay? So if you get to level 1-0 tomorrow and you maintain it for the next 7 days, then that's it. You'll be released on the electron monitor. We won't have another hearing, okay? Now it's all in your court.
Can you say that again?
Your attorney can explain it to you. If you'd been sitting up and listening like you should have been, you would have heard me say it the first time.
Yes, I'm hearing you.
That'll be the order of the court.
I was hearing the right thing.
I'll call you, Natalie.
Thank you.
So basically, they're on a level system in detention. So when they come in, they're on level 2. I think I guess she just came in yesterday, the day before.
You make sure they save one. They didn't save one last week.
Do Good morning, Ms. Morton. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
All right, my name is Judge Porter. You have the right to have this hearing in front of Judge Kim. You also have the right to have this hearing recorded. It's a detention hearing to determine whether you should remain in the back or be released. Do you see your attorney, Ms. Herrick?
Yes.
All right,
Hi,
she's here.
Hello.
She's here to advise you. You have the right to remain silent and not say anything at all. If there's something you want to say, rather than just blurt it out, what I want you to do is wave your hand like this. That way I know and your attorney know that you want to say something.
Yes, sir.
I will create a special online chat room just for the two of you to talk. That way she can listen to what you want to say and she can tell you whether or not you really should say it. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Victorson, what brings Beth back to court?
Yes, Your Honor. I first want to apologize to the court. I had some technical difficulties generating this report. And there's a paragraph missing from everybody's report. On the 19th of April, yesterday, officers were dispatched to ACH regarding an alleged assault. Upon arrival, they met with the two victims that were both employees. The first victim indicated that Beth was observed wearing a sheet over her head and refused to remove it. As a consequence, all of the items in her room were being removed. As this process was going on, Beth approached the victim with an open hand, striking her on the side of the head and grabbing her hair, causing pain. The victim then initiated a restraint. During the restraint, Beth bit the victim on the breast, causing pain again. A second victim explained that she entered the room when the restraint was going on to assist, and she reached down to pick up a pair of slippers when Beth kicked her in the head, causing pain. Now, we've got a number of offenses pending court. We're set for July the 23rd. These new offenses will be referred to the district attorney's office at this point. I reached out to CPS. Beth is in care, and I haven't heard back from CPS at this point. Haven't had a chance to talk to Beth to see if she's even willing to go back to ACH. The last time we were here, she did not want to go back. Stayed here about 2 weeks before she decided it would be okay to go back. And we're here for something very similar to why we were here last month.
All right, Ms. Herrick.
Yes, Your Honor. I also have not yet had a chance to speak to Beth's CPS worker to find out if they have somewhere where she can go. And it doesn't look like her CPS worker is part of this call, right, Dana?
Right.
Okay. I mean, at this point, I think Beth understands that we have to find a place for her to go before she can be released.
Okay. Do you understand, Beth?
Yes, sir.
All right. Do you have any questions of me?
What if I do want to go back to ACH?
If you do want to go back to ACH, I want you to talk it over with your attorney and let her know about those circumstances. And that way she can ask you some questions and she can give you some advice on whether or not that's the right place for you. Okay. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Now, if y'all get to that determination and y'all want to have another detention hearing before, we'll have another one automatically scheduled for you in 2 weeks. But if you want to have a one before then, Ms. Herrick's certainly welcome to schedule that. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Anything else from either side?
No, sir.
Dana, did you say her court date is July 23rd?
Yes, ma'am. At 8:30 in the morning.
Okay. Okay.
But
thank you.
You're
Yeah, that's all.
definitely welcome to call the coordinator and work with the state on getting a different date.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, y'all. Oh, that would help, wouldn't it?
Not yet. What happened?
All right, guys.
Wait.
All right, Beth, I think we're done.
Okay.
You want to go ahead and head on back? Thanks.
I don't know how long this thing is.
Jacqueline.
43608HACOO. No, 4360.
Are you Ms. Revelorio?
Yes.
Am I pronouncing your last name correctly?
Yes.
All right. I need you to pull up as close to the computer as you can. And I need you to speak very loudly so I can hear you okay. My name is Judge Porter. This is a detention hearing to determine whether you should remain in custody or be released. You have the right to have this hearing in front of Judge Kim. You also have the right to have this hearing recorded. If you want either of those things,
I'm
Ms.
sending
Harris
you
will
all
let
your
me know.
ballet stuff for this week, Issa.
You have the right to remain silent and not say anything at all. If there's something you want to say, rather than just blurt it out, I want you to wave your hand like this. You see me?
Mm-hmm.
And I will create a special online chat room just for you and your attorney. Y'all can go in there. Y'all can talk about what you want to say, and she can advise you whether or not you should actually say it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right. Ms. Rodriguez, what brings Ms. Revelorio to court today? Oh, wait, Ms. Rodriguez.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can now. What brings Ms. Revelorio to court today?
On April the 17th, the 18-year-old older sister, Kimberly, was watching all the siblings while he was gone. Jacqueline and her 10-year-old sister, Jennifer, got into an argument. Jacqueline got angry after Jennifer said she was going to call the mom. Jacqueline then grabbed Jennifer's arm and held it back, saying, "No, you won't." Jennifer expressed that this hurt her arm and called Kimberly to help her. Kimberly showed up, and then she and Jacqueline got into a verbal argument. Things seemed to have calmed down, but a few minutes after that, Jacqueline and Kimberly got into it. Jacqueline went into the kitchen and grabbed a 10-inch kitchen knife, walked up to Kimberly and said, "I'm going to stab you." Kimberly said, "No, you're not." And Jacqueline pointed the knife at Kimberly's midsection. Kimberly smacked the knife out of Jacqueline's hand, and then they got into a physical fight. Jacqueline got atop of Kimberly and was hitting her. Kimberly had to kick Jacqueline off of her to get away and call the police, and that's when they arrived, and Jacqueline was arrested for aggravated assault on a family member with a weapon. And she does have 2 prior assaultive offenses. Assault on mom in February of this year that was dropped. And then she has assault on a classmate from December of last year that was supervisory cautioned by the department. And she also tested positive for marijuana.
Okay, and I see that we have a parent or guardian here today.
Yes, mom is here.
Okay, does mom speak only Spanish?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Is there someone in the parents' room to help mom?
Yes, Judge, I'm here.
Okay. Mom, what is happening?
Pues el hogar está muy bien. El problema sucedió porque yo tuve que salir a comprar ese día comida para las niñas y las dejé con la mayor, que es la de 18 años, con la que sucedió el problema con la de 15.
As it said, normally she's okay at home, Judge. This all stemmed from mom having to go out to the grocery store and leaving the oldest sister in charge, which apparently Jacqueline didn't like.
Lo que pasó en ese transcurso es de que las dos empezaron a pelear porque Jacqueline le pegó a la de 5 años. Entonces la de 10 años se metió a querer hablarme por teléfono y Jacqueline no la dejaba hablar por teléfono y salió la de 18 años de su cuarto y fue donde empezaron.
She started an argument, or I guess an argument ensued at home because Jacqueline disciplined the younger sister when she was not in charge. So that escalated to the 18-year-old sister stepping in, and then the 10-year-old sister is the one that was calling mom on the phone to try to get her home sooner.
Y dice Jacqueline y la de 10 años que como Kimberly, la de 18, agarró unas tijeras, entonces Jacqueline se sintió también como con temor y agarró el cuchillo, la navaja, no sé cómo le llaman.
And she's saying that both the 18-year-old and Jacqueline picked up weapons in the home. And I guess, threatening each other. Yeah,
Do you want Jacqueline to come home today?
Sí, porque esto pienso que nomás fue un problema en familia como hermanas que nunca había sucedido de la primera vez. Ellas son muy unidas, muy juntas. Yo no sé por qué pasó este problema así.
She does judge. She believes this is just a one-time incident. She says all the sisters usually get along, and she doesn't believe they were actually gonna, do anything seriously.
All right, Ms. Herrick.
Yes, Your Honor. Jacqueline does not have any prior adjudications, and her mom does want her to come home, so we ask that she be released today.
All right, what says the state, Ms. Bell?
The state would ask that she be detained since it was an aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, and she would be going back into the same home with the same siblings, and that she would be a danger to herself and those around her.
Ms. Revelorio?
Yes,
It concerns me greatly that you decided to pick up a knife in this situation. Okay, it also concerns me that since December, we're seeing a repeated pattern of behavior of assaultive offenses occurring within the home. Because we have December, we have February, and we have now. Do you understand why that concerns me?
Yes, sir.
And I understand that the other two didn't result in any court proceedings. But when you decide to throw knives into the mix, that changes the dynamic, doesn't it?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Rodriguez, when was the last drug test administered?
It says February 22nd, but let me make sure.
Okay.
So on the 17th, I'm sorry, she was clean on that date. It was on February 22nd that she was positive for marijuana. So she was clean this last time.
Okay. Ms. Revelorio?
Yes, sir.
I normally would not let you go because you had a knife. You brought a knife. And I don't care that your sister also had a knife. It's the fact that you picked up a knife. Because all I care right now about is you. But if your mom is willing to take a chance, and if your mom believes that this was a one-time thing, was it?
Yes, sir.
Am I making a mistake by taking a chance on you?
No.
What are you going to do to make sure you behave at home?
I won't get in a fight. I won't get in a fight with my sister no more.
And if your mom puts your older sister in charge and your little sister acts up, what's the response? What's the proper thing for you to do?
Let my older sister get in charge of it.
There you go. That way you stay out of it, right?
Yes.
And if you stay out of it, then you have clean hands and nobody can accuse you of doing bad things, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So you know what you need to do going forward, right?
Yes, sir.
Is this going to be the last time I see you?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to order that you be released today to your mom. Your mom can come pick you up. Mom, she's got a curfew from 8 at night until 8 in the morning. She cannot go outside the house.
las 8 de la casa.
Mañana.
No, todos los días.
Oh,
Todos los días.
sí.
Okay.
Sí.
The only exception to that is school, and there is no school right now, or church. And if she goes out, you must be with her.
Si sale de la casa, necesita estar con usted.
Oh.
Okay?
Okay.
All right. That'll be the order of the court. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
¿Puedes esperar a la señora Rodríguez en el frente?
I'm not gonna, I don't, this is not a electronic monitor situation. All right, I'm gonna take a quick break.
I can't hear. Oh.
He's taking a real quick break.
Oh. Hi. Can you hear me?
All right, we are back. You Miss Rios Adorno?
Yes, sir.
You prefer Rios Adorno or Adorno?
Adorno.
Adorno, okay, that will be it. My name is Judge Porter. You have the right to have this hearing in front of Judge Kim. You also have the right to have this hearing recorded. If you want either of those things, your attorney, Mr. Sierra, will let me know. You have the right to remain silent and not say anything at all unless that's what you want to do. If there's something you want to say, please do not blurt it out. Instead, I want you to wave your hand like this. See me? I'll create a special online chat room just for you and your attorney. Y'all can go in there. Y'all can talk about what you want to say. He can advise you whether or not you should actually say it. And then you'll come back. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
All right. Ms. Guerrero, what brings Ms. Adorno to court today?
Yes, Judge, she does have, this is a 1090 detention hearing. She does have a petition for resisting arrest, evading arrest, harassment on a public servant, and assault on a public servant. Court is scheduled for the 29th. Also, placement search is being done. She was referred back in on February the 26th, Judge. The offense happened around 4:38. The officer was dispatched in reference to a Family Dollar where Maria Langeles was inside the store. They called the officers because she was slurring and she was unstable. She wasn't able to stand. She had on 2 different shoes and she was moving items in the store around, placing them in the different shelves. So the officers at that time did place her under arrest for PI. And once she was in the vehicle, they tried to put her seatbelt on. She at that time then kicked the officer in the chest. And then an officer came over to tell her not to do that. And then she spit in the officer's face. She was taken out of the vehicle. She was placed in leg restraints and they called the ambulance to check on her to see how she was doing. At that time, when the ambulance got there, she decided that she was going to run from the officers. They had to, they did get her and placed her back in the vehicle. She was transported to JPS. When she was at JPS, she was handcuffed to the bed, and at that time, she was trying to take her handcuffs off and spit in the officer's face once again.
All right. And I see that she has a parent or guardian here today.
Yes, Judge, her mother is present.
All right. Mom, what are your thoughts?
I mean, I don't know what to say, to be honest, about that. You know, I do believe that my daughter does need treatment. She does need help. And that's what my whole goal is. Hoping that that is the outcome, that we are able to get her into some type of help.
Okay.
She has
Mr.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, she has a long history of trauma, and I just want her to get some help.
Right. And just so everybody knows, the court is aware of that trauma, so we don't have to talk about that, because I'll remind everybody this is being broadcast on YouTube. So Mr. Sierra, what are your thoughts?
Judge, I'm going to say, Judge, that my client's been in custody going maybe on 35 days. Actual stay is 53 days. While I do understand the court's concerns, she has been since medicated. She is a level 1. Now, despite the fact of her having these offenses that occurred in February 26th, she has no prior criminal offenses, Your Honor, okay? And given the fact that she doesn't have any prior history, she's on level 1, she is not a risk to reoffend. And Your Honor, we're talking about that if there's any concern of the court of her being a flight risk, we're talking about the last time that she was a flight risk was 8 months ago. And I had a word with the probation officer this morning that placement has been found, but we asked that Ms. Adorno be released on several considerations. You have the coronavirus, she would be safer to be at home. We're asking her to be released also on an ankle monitor. And that is not going to prevent her from getting any treatment in the future. Now, I've also, in communication with my client, she has mentioned that her mom, and I could stand corrected by mom, the mom is working from home. So if you were to release her and release her on an ankle monitor, she would be on mom's supervision at home, and where she's better kept given the outcome of her placement, Your Honor. She is scheduled for a adjudication hearing next week, which also gives a very good indication of the court, a week of observation of how she would do on a monitor. She's never been given the opportunity to have a monitor, Your Honor, and she's been in custody the whole time. I don't think that we can ask anything more of Ms. Adorno for her to go home, Your Honor.
All right, rebuttal from the state, Ms. Bell.
Yes, Your Honor. The respondent has run away previously from 2 parental placements, so there's concern that she would abscond. Based on the defense counsel's statements, placement has been found for her. If she is released, then that she might lose her position in placement. She would also have to come back into detention and have additional medical testing done. So the state would ask that she be detained pending her placement, and also the fear that she would abscond if she was released.
All right, based on the evidence before me, Ms. Adorno, you are at level 1O and you are to be commended to that, but I think the seriousness of the other situation, that you might be a danger to the public if you're released. So I'm going to order that you be detained, and we will see you in court next week. And that'll be the order of the court.
Thank you, Judge.
Maybe excuse, Judge.
Thank you. Good to see you, Mr. Sierra.
Thank you.
No, I was not. Right. Mr. Sanders, can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
My name is Judge Porter. You have the right to have this hearing in front of Judge Kim. You also have the right to have this hearing recorded. If you want either of those things, your attorney, Ms. Herrick, will let me know. You have the right to remain silent and not say anything at all. If there's something you want to say, rather than just blurt it out, what I want you to do is I want you to wave your hand like this. That will let me and your attorney know that you want to say something. I will create a special online chat room just for you and your attorney. Y'all can go in there, y'all can discuss about what you want to say, and she can advise you whether or not you really should say it. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
All right. Pull your chair all the way up close to the computer. That way I can hear you better. All right. Thank you, Ms. Alonso. Thank you.
And grandmother here as well. Grandmother is here as well.
Okay, she's not back in the room yet. Oh, wait, there's Ms. Sanders.
Yes.
Hold on.
Let me ask her to unmute it. There we go.
Hello?
There we go.
Okay.
All right, Ms. Sanders, we can hear you just fine. All right, Ms. Alonso, what brings Mr. Sanders to court today?
Your Honor, on Saturday, April 18, Derek Sanders was restored in custody by the Fort Worth Police Department for the offense of evading arrest. According to the police report, officers were conducting a robbery investigation. Witnesses observed the suspects ran towards an apartment complex. When the police approached a group of individuals inside the apartment complex, they all ran from officers and were not caught or identified. Police officers then returned to the area and observed two men, the actors in the robbery, ran away in the opposite direction when they saw the police officers. Derek Sanders wasn't identified as one wearing a white hoodie and as a suspect in the robbery. Derek evaded even after hearing the police officers shout out, "Stop, police." He jumped the fence and ran across the street before he was apprehended. Derek was then transported to detention. Also on April 16, a progress report was submitted to Judge Kim. Grandmother called me saying that Derek uploaded a picture of him holding a gun on Instagram. The directive to apprehend was issued today, but he was brought in custody yesterday. He is currently on probation, on determined attendance probation, and it is set to expire in the year 2023. And he was just recently discharged from the SNDP program. The referral will be submitted to the DA's office for.
All right, Ms. Herrick.
Yes, Your Honor. I would like to point out that at this point, he has not been referred for the offense of robbery. He's only referred for the offense of evading arrest in violation of court order. And I don't know his grandmother's position on whether or not she would like him to return home, but we do request that you release him today.
All right. Ms. Sanders, just a second, Mr. Sanders. Ms. Sanders, is there anything you want to tell the court?
No, I just wish he would get his mind right and stay at home and stay out of trouble. That's all I ever asked him to do.
All right. First, I find that there is probable cause to believe that you engaged in delinquent conduct. So I'll make that first finding with respect to the basis of the underlying detention this time. That's in addition to Judge Kim's DTA that's been previously issued. Furthermore, based on the fact that you're on determinate sentence probation already, I believe that you would be a danger to yourself or the public if released because you have a prior delinquency already. And so I'm going to order that you continue to be detained. And that'll be the order of court. Thank you, Mr. Sanders. All right. The next hearing involves a child under the age of 14. And so the court will be stopping the live stream YouTube